Circuit.
Welcome to the Unicorn Circuit, your weekly dose of car news, fanking, legal conundrums, conspiracies. We've even got a crap car this week. We got some mailbags to open up. It's going to be a big episode that's exactly the same size as any other episode.
That was succinct, man. You nailed that. Like, normally we don't know what the list says, even though we can read it. Well, I can read it, but you can't read it. But, like, do you know what I mean?
Is there a list there? I can't read it. I didn't read it.
What are we starting with?
We're like 140 episodes.
No, let's be succinct.
We still don't know what we're doing. We're going to be succinct. Before we start the succinctness, just want to do a quick shout out to those of you last week that grabbed a 240Z poster. Yes, we let you know before anyone else. Some people on the main channel were pissed. They're like, oh, you should
and some of
value
you might,
the
some
fans.
Of you
We
might
value the unicorn fans.
Some of them might have them. We signed those ones straight away, 38 of them, straight to you guys. They should already be in the post.
They're already in the mail, but we're going to continue shipping this week. If you don't have one yet, this is what they look like.
Limited.
Strictly limited time only. Get them before they're on eBay for $5,000. 100. No, they're about $500. I think they end up going for. Anyway, that there is. They're available right now. So put your order in. We don't just have them all sitting there, just ready to go, printed with a signature. No, we get the individual thing and we sign it, and then it gets rolled and it gets sent to you. So check them out. And then also next Wednesday night in Sydney, if you're around, come and say good day. We've got Drift Night. Great for beginners. It's not like a full illegal mountain Japanese run. It's on a skid pan, so you can learn how to drift. There's some figure eights. There's a drift course. Start with donuts. You'll learn, what it is you need to do. But if you already know how to drift,
if you've never been before, you can speak to the instructors and they will help you understand what you've got to do. If you have been before, or you came to our last drift night, want to do more, we will extend it for you guys as well, so that you can have some more practice with some of the more hectic drifting. Something for everyone. Prefer rear-wheel drive and manual. It's be easiest for you. There was an STI there with a locking diff that was doing skids as well. So, yeah.
Auto's fine though. If you've got rear-wheel drive, come and do a skid.
Come have a go.
Last time, drivers' tickets sold out immediately. I think there's only either 30 or 35 driver tickets in total. There's also passenger tickets. You can ride with a pro, and then of course come and spectate. We'll do selfies. We'll have some merch there. Come and say good day. Music, food truck. It's a really great night. Just come and say good day. So
multiple
tickets
food trucks this time
are available in the thing and there. So there it is. Martin, is it time to jump into the exhilarating news? And what I will say this week is that the news is so exciting and there is so much incredible car stuff happening that your wormholes will be blown. 17 galaxies. Run the graphics. In breaking news, all new cars are shit.
No, the news is
it's dismal.
Dismal.
It's dismal
Good
and
running.
abysmal. Here's what's going on.
It's absolute shite.
There is, there's a ute.
There's multiple utes that are coming from multiple countries.
There's one bit of good news.
What's that?
On Mighty Car Mods, those clowns over there building a 240Z.
Yeah, that's great news.
That's great news. It's over on the main channel. If you haven't checked that out, check it out.
Yoda,
with Alan
himself. He came out. This is going to be a full talk over each other episode. You know what's going to happen because we're both keen. And
anyway,
we're both
so
very
Alan
hungry,
came down to
and we
work
both
on
want
the
to
car
go
with us, which is
eat
great.
Starvo because it's probably been 45 minutes since he ate, which means we need to go eat again. But don't worry,
episode's huge.
Eat Bag is coming, and then we'll all be fine. So maybe we should just move Eat Bag up so everyone's satiated.
The first episode has just come out now, so check it out. And a big thank you to Alan for coming down. We've got some very, very big things planned for that car.
Yep.
That is the biggest thing that happened in automotive news in the planet.
Work is continuing on the 240 as well. And tomorrow is a mad bonus one because we're actually to be shooting a whole bunch of more stuff on the 240 to get it working and do some very clever stuff that's going to make that even nicer to drive. And working on my RX-7. Huh?
The RX-7 too.
Huh?
And the RX-7.
I was literally about to say that. Yeah. We were also working on the RX-7 as well.
All right.
So we either way, both of those cars about to be basically dyno ready. Go and tune them up, see what kind of power they make, and then drive them. I cannot tell you how keen I am to drive that blue RX-7, that FD with real power, and because it never did it, and it's gone to.
Now, for those that actually do come here for the news, I'm going to tick off the news very, very quickly for you. Kia Tasman Ute, everyone's talking about it. It's a Ute. It's going to have a payload of over a tonne and apparently 3.5 tonne towing capacity. I don't know anything else about it except it kind of looks like a Kia. So congratulations, well done. Someone has seen a Rivian R1T in Melbourne. That's the car that I drag raced on Top Gear in Texas. Still no Apple CarPlay though, Martin.
So boring.
Still no Apple CarPlay. They're like, we want everybody to use our own ecosystem, so there's that. Apparently, in the last 12 months, Toyota's sold a lot of RAV4s. And in other news,
more interesting than the Utes, but
MG, who make the MG3 that's just getting advertised so hard, they've got a sports car, Martin, that they have made.
Do you have a photo of it?
I do. I'm about to show it to you. It's called the Cyberstar.
Okay.
The MG. Now, Martin, I'm just going to flash it up to you quickly and tell me what car do you think they potentially based the design off? You get 2 seconds to have a look and gone.
What does that look like? MX-5 and a 350Z.
Nope.
Had a
Pick
love
up
child.
once more. Dude, that's an S2000.
Or a Jaguar.
Isn't it?
Looks a bit like a Jaguar.
It looks like a combination of all of those things.
Like all those things. You know what? They're going to sell really well.
It's going to be, it's priced to compete with a Porsche Spider, or not a Spider, what do you call them, like a Cayman or something like that?
They've gone the opposite of the way Tesla have gone, by the way, companies like this. Instead of starting at the top down and going for the super rich, super expensive thing and then sort of trickling down to the consumer stuff, they're starting with consumer and then they're coming after the bigger brands with the more expensive cars.
It's going to be 115 grand before on roads.
For a what?
For an MG.
For MG.
And dual electric motors, 375 kilowatts.
Okay, so it's a Tesla Roadster.
So there's that.
2024 style.
Last thing I want to say about the news before we get into the new news, the thing that we're both excited about. Tariffs is a massive thing at the moment because it's constantly being spoken about with the US elections, which are probably happening as you're watching this video, potentially.
True.
Get out there and have your say, have your vote. If you live in a country that it's mandatory like ours, you have to. Otherwise, you'll either get fined or go to jail or something. In America, apparently, according to the internet, it's not mandatory, but if you want to have your say, go and have your say. Anyway, tariffs has been a big thing that's been spoken about a lot.
Huge.
In the EU and the USA, they obviously want to try and protect their local industries, and so they're looking at putting tariffs on things. But apparently, and this has already passed, in the USA, they're putting tariffs on Chinese products, including EVs. That's gone up from 25% to 100%, which means literally doubling the thing. As such, it makes Australia a prime target to try and send more Chinese cars.
Absolutely, and the floodgates will open. If the tariff drops, the floodgates will open, and there's quite a few cars that are actually banned from being sold into the US as well.
Yeah.
I think BYD might be on that list, or if they were recently, either way. Due to security issues, I guess.
Waxy Dolphin have a car coming out as well.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, tariffs are a thing. If you want a nerdy read that's kind of interesting, read up about tariffs and how they work and what they do and what they don't do, what they set to achieve and what they don't achieve. Because it is interesting and it does affect the kind of things you're buying, whether that's washing machines, white goods, appliances, or, like most of these cars, also white goods and appliances with wheels.
All right, everybody, we've got some classy new graphics and a new little section here. Martin, make a beat into this cup, but make it near my thing and make a little beat for me. It's the new section where we look at cars for sale on the internet, and Marty will show you ones that he thinks are good, and I'll show you one too. With the influx of new cars utterly boring, we decided to start a whole new segment looking at some cool cars that we think are available to buy right now on the internet.
That's right, and some of them aren't actually cool. So we've just gone to a car buying website, you can marketplace, go wherever you want. But we're going to have a look, and we've just sort of set a price and said, what do you get for example, today it's going to be 25 grand, because I think there's some interesting cars around that price, and for some people that might be maybe it's a first car buy, maybe it's a second car, but maybe you've got some cash and you want to actually go get something that's kind of cool. You can get a lot of cars secondhand for 25 grand.
And after we go through all of these cars, Marty's got a few contenders, as do I. In the comments, we want to find out from you which one of these cars you would buy if it was your money. So Martin, do yourself. I've only got one car because I only need one.
Oh, and I'm not actually selling it. I just think it's interesting, mostly the variety of what 25 grand does and does not get you.
But we want to hear from you which one you think is best. Marty's got some contenders. I've got one in the comments.
I'm going to start here. We're not going to flick through all the photos. We're going to keep this snappy. But what I'm going to start with, for $25,000, you can get yourself here we go, 1986 BMW 3 Series in green. Also for 25 grand. And a lot of these I've just picked because I think they're interesting in a way. This is called a 2004 Holden Crewman.
A Crewman is a ute with seats in the back for mates.
Correct. It's like a dual cab, not a jacked up dual cab.
It's a dual cab ute.
It's the original dual cab. It is a dual cab ute.
It's like based on the station wagon, but then I believe it's extended.
So the Crewman was also V8, which is cool, but also all-wheel drive. And
I did not know that, man.
Yeah,
I didn't know that Commodores made. Is that the only Commodore you can get that's all-wheel drive?
There was also a wagon version.
Was there?
Yes.
Why didn't you have one of those?
I don't know. They're kind of cool, but they're old, man. They feel like an old car. Next up for 25 grand, 2014 Audi A5. So you've come 10 years into the future, And you've got a Quattro MY. Does that mean it's all-wheel drive? It's
Yeah.
Quattro? There you go.
Is that
All-wheel drive,
convertible?
convertible, two-door sports car essentially, also for 25 grand.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Next
good.
up, we go back to 1997, back to Holden's, and you can get yourself a 1997 Holden Commodore. I believe that's a VS. Someone's going to correct me and say it's a
5.7 litre?
VR. That's a 5 litre, so that's before they put the LSs in them.
Yeah.
That's the last of the Iron Lion 5 litre. Also big Ks, but that's what you'll pay for that now. When I first got my car, those things were $3,000.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
For the same money, 2015, around the same era, you can get yourself a Mercedes-Benz C-Class. 2-litre turbo, 4-cylinder, like it looks like a modern car.
How does
Same
a
money.
Mercedes-Benz C-Class compare to a Commodore for the same money? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I guess Commodores are...
I wasn't saying how does it metaphor. Like I was
Yeah,
going
I know.
like for people out there looking, like how do you compare the two of them? Because one of them you go it's a Commodore, you've got the line, you've got the whatever. The other one for the same money, you've got all this safety stuff, all this whatever, but your insurance is going to be more.
Yeah.
Potentially fixing it's going to be
Yeah,
more. Like
parts.
it's an interesting comparison.
True, absolutely. For the same money, a 2014 WRX.
That's the one you buy, right?
Well, if you want it just like a fast car you can take to the track, arguably that Mercedes would be pretty good on the track as well, but the WRX is kind
No
of
one
what
takes
everyone...
Mercedes seriously in the real world. No one cares.
A40, you see a lot of A45s at the track.
Oh, they're kind of different. They're cool,
Yeah.
apparently. Slower than an RS3,
this
though,
one-
so people that own them get all devo.
This one I chucked in here because I can't believe it. I still can't believe people are buying Delikas for $25,000. A lot of the time they're already kitted out with full camping setups and stuff. So people who are coming here to go on holidays just need to get into something straight away. They'll spend 25
They're great
grand.
in theory, but they're thrashed and they're full of
And
STDs.
in Japan, they are like no money.
Yeah.
They hold the value little. For the same money, a Cressida. A 1991 Cressida for $25,000. I mean, there's a bit of telling his dreaming going on in some of these cars, but for someone, that is a good buy.
Has that been MCM taxed, though?
Well, I don't know MCM tax, but there's just not many of them left. It is a supply and demand. For the same money, 1998 Supra.
That's cheap.
Yeah, 3-litre manual, like a nice looking Supra, 25 grand as well. Interesting, this one's in South Australia. And sometimes those more interesting like imports end up in places like that. Same money, again, Audi S3, that's Quattro as well, right?
That's pretty good.
All drive, 25 grand, 2-litre turbo, so similar to the convertible, but that's basically an RS3 with a 4-cylinder in it.
You can't say that.
Is that kind of what it is?
That's
though?
like saying a steak is basically vegetarian but made of meat. That's totally different.
Or like like a WRX, an STI is just a WRX with something. You know what I mean?
because they're
Same thing?
totally no. It's
Not
that one is one of those silly naming conventions that you go S3, RS3 just means it's a little bit more. It's apparently it's not because it's a totally different
Same
engine.
chassis,
It's the
different
half the
engine,
R10
bigger
and all
brakes.
the different thing. It's
Yeah,
all
okay.
a bunch of bullshit.
This one's interesting as well. I cannot
that
believe
an MX-6?
an MX-5,
An MX-5?
with nearly 300,000 Ks on it, NA basically stock, is $25,000. 10 years ago, exactly 10 years ago, I paid $1,000.
Dude, what was the? I just
$1,500
called it an MX-6. What's the turbo version of that called? That was a something 6. Not a,
MX-6, they're front wheel drive.
it was an MX-6,
Yeah.
but they were turbo, right?
They were, some of them, the older ones were turbo, the newer ones were not. They were
Okay.
boring 2.2 litres or something.
Right. You got a lot of cars here, man.
Yeah, I'm nearly done. 1985 Ford Falcon. So now we're into like kind of
That's
retro
cool.
coolness.
I like that.
This I feel like maybe is 25 grand, assuming the car's not like really haggard. You'd have to look at it to know for sure. But I feel like that kind of car, you spend your 25 grand, you can go to events, you can take it out. It's a bit more of
cars
a
and coffee kind of thing.
Also, a track manual R350Z with 120,000 Ks in it, $25,000.
That's pretty good.
Same money. I chucked this in because I think it's hilarious. Like, who is actually going to buy a Jeep?
Bo Ryan.
Like that Jeep? Oh yeah, true.
Terrible.
And
Just
we're
terrible.
going to end it right there. So all around similar Ks, interestingly, but very different. Like we've got stuff from the 80s right up to like 2015, 2016. You probably notice you're not getting into the 2020s and 2022s and 23s for that money because I just searched for 25 grand or less. But there were so many cars set at $25,000 that's pretty much came up. There were hundreds, but those I thought were an interesting cross section. We might do that for a different price range because I think it's interesting to see what's out there.
Very interesting. Would you like to see what I found, Martin?
Window shopping. Oh, have you got some?
Yeah,
Oh,
what are
we're
you
going
talking
window
about?
shopping. Let's go.
What are you talking about, dude? Got all these different things.
Rear window
The thing
shopping.
is, no matter what you do in your life, and no matter what kind of car you buy, whether it's expensive or whether it's cheap, you basically want to spend a good amount of money to get yourself a very good car. A car that can tick all of the boxes for you. It's a very good car at driving down the street. It's a very good car at going to the beach. It's a very good car at being able to carry stuff around. And as such, the best car that I've found right now in Australia is a very good car. It's $1,500. This is the description.
What is it? Is
Car
it
runs, just needs a bit of work.
Bit off work. A bit off work.
Sorry, it needs a bit off work. Look at that. Very good car. $1,500.
Is it a Commodore Ute?
Yeah, it's a Commodore Ute.
With all the rubbish still in it as well.
Yeah, $1,500. And you know what? For honesty, very good car, needs a bit off work. I think that's the best car for sale in Australia
I don't actually disagree, because if you...
For the money.
For $1,500 to get a Commodore, to get any Ute actually...
I shouldn't have put it on the show, because now I should have bought it myself.
Interesting, commercial vehicles, so Utes and vans, like our friend Miles from Flux just the other day put a van he bought cheap with 460,000 Ks on it for sale and sold in like 10 minutes.
In the bin.
Straight away.
That's
because it was a cheap van. People are like, yeah, vans are useful. Like you can use it to make money straight away. So that makes sense. Anyway, what are we moving on to now? Is that even legal? Is That Even Legal is the delightful segment of the show where Mutt and I explore different places in the world to see what their laws are. Last time we spoke about how in Australia it was illegal not to vote, and lots of you thought that was very strange, but we're in a very strange country with strange animals. Our creatures here are weird. We've got a thing called a platypus that's got a duck's head and the body of a beaver. It's very, very strange. And no moose.
We've also got a thing called a funnel web that's a spider that lives in a funnel, but not in a funnel, it lives in the ground.
We've also got trapdoor spiders.
We've got redback spiders, they'll bite you, and if you don't get some help, they'll probably kill you. We got sharks, we got other stuff that's going to bite you, all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
People really think about that before they come to Australia, don't they? And people who are scared of that sort of stuff go, I'm not going just because of those, like, snakes and spiders.
What I've learned is when you Google a country, what you hear about is the bad stuff. And I reckon this could be a conspiracy theory because it floats to the top. If you've never been to Japan before and you go, is it okay to go to Japan? What you will read about is earthquakes and stuff like that.
Oh, of course.
When I was going to Colombo, it's like, can you go to Colombia? Oh,
you'll be killed.
Drugs, cartels,
You'll be
kidnapping,
killed
whatever.
instantly.
Australia, can you go? You will get eaten by a crocodile and your remains will be bitten by a spider and then a monkey will defecate on your face.
Wow.
And monkeys have chlamydia, so you might end up with that as well somehow. You know what I mean? Like that's what the internet is giving you.
Like chlamydia.
Well, it depends what you're doing with it. But anyway, we're not talking about that, Martin. We're talking about, Martin, do you like taking selfies?
Oh, sure.
You don't, do you?
No, not really.
Hate it,
I don't like it.
Do you remember the time we were getting some lunch? And we sat down, and this is a true story. Some people come up to us and say good day in the street, and they say, you know, sometimes they say, can we get a photo? And anyway, we sat down and get some lunch, and I think we were building a recording studio at the time, so we're covered in dirt and covered in thing or whatever. And so we sit down and we ordered some food. Finally, it arrives, and I remember Marty going like this, and then going, can I get a photo? And there's just a guy there with his camera out. It's like, can I get a photo? And then you're like, yeah, that's fine. I'll just finish this bite, if that's okay. And then I felt bad because Marty's like, I'll finish the bite. And then he goes, I'll wait. And then I think he sat at our table. He either sat there, he goes, I'll just wait and just like watch eating. And so I was like, it's a little bit, so I said, you know what I'll do instead is like, I'll just get a quick photo with you now. Because it felt weird sitting there and having someone just silently watching you. As your burger slowly gets smaller, he's getting closer to the thing you need. It felt awkward to me, like when someone's waiting for you. Yeah. So I go, I'll just get a photo with you now. So we got a photo, and then he goes, I'm not going to wait for Marty, like I'll go. Anyway, then he posted that that photo on the internet.
I do remember this. With
a comment saying he thought I looked like shit. And I was like, because I was like half bite with like sauce on me and stuff. And I was like I would love just to eat my burger as well. But, you know, you watch the show, you whatever, so I'll get a photo. But then you posted it saying I look like shit. And I think that was actually karmic retribution for, and I think I've told you this, when I was in my early 20s, I met Dave Grohl and I saw him on the street in Melbourne and I was out for dinner and I noticed he was in the restaurant with some girl. And then I was like, I'm not going to go and say hello to him because it's awkward and he probably doesn't want that. And this is before I'd had any experience with kind of dealing with people in that way. But then a guy that we were at the table with who'd never heard of the Foo Fighters was going, Pooh Fighter, what? Pooh Fighter? Who's Pooh? Who's Fighter? Like just a moron, right? But then he went up to the table and said, hi, is it okay if these guys get a photo with you? Dave Grohl said now something that I understand but didn't understand at the time. He's just like, I'll just finish this bite if that's all right, and then I'll come over and meet them. So then the guy comes back to my table and says, he's going to come over. And I was like, the poor bastard. But then I waited, he finished his meal, then he came over And he goes, is this clown with you? Pointing to the guy that had got, like, he was like, and the clown wasn't with me, but he was a client we were doing a video job for. So I'm like, oh. Anyway, we got our photo, and I now get the sense of, while he was just sitting there eating his burger, sorry, you're looking at your time.
No,
you're like,
fine.
how long's this story?
No,
going
I just
for?
remembered another story.
Anyway,
I just remembered another one.
But what I realised, though, by saying to him, hey, we're waiting for a photo, is it's no longer just him and his girlfriend having a feed. It's their time being monitored until they wait, because he knows as soon as he goes outside that someone's just waiting for him. Some people go, well, that's the price of fame. That's the cost of it. Regardless of any of that, he's still a human being who was then going, I now have to, I owe somebody something because I had a Foo Fighter t-shirt or whatever. He didn't owe me anything, but I understand the feeling of it. And then I had the same experience many years later by someone going, can I get a photo? And in that particular moment of time, I just wanted to like swallow my bite of burger, but instead I swallowed it whole and go, hey man, yeah, I'll get a photo, whatever. And then he posted on the internet and said, Marty didn't get a photo with me and Moog looks like shit.
More importantly than
so
this.
thank you very much.
More importantly than this is, from the same hole, air was going in so that blood could be oxygenated so the brain could remain. Substances were going in and being chewed up by the same hole. And then especially in Dave Grohl's case, got another confession. A honk sound comes out of that mouth that pays for the shit that goes into the mouth to feed the thing to the blood. It's a weird cycle all done through the same hole.
Yeah. And if
it's all wet and stuff.
If enough caloric input goes into this hole,
yeah,
and then you blast out some air
in the right way, yeah,
then different holes open up, like different opportunities.
Well, your ears
no, on other people.
Yeah, their ears in the concert. Like their ears receive the honking.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
One more story on that.
No, sorry, I need to finish this.
Everyone knows what you're talking about.
No, they don't. What I'm saying is, if you eat your food and with your flapping mouth meat, you are sustained enough to go, I've got another confession to make. Someone else's wet hole opens up to the same degree that yours does.
Ears aren't wet. They're dry. They've got wax in them. They're not wet.
Dude, their wet holes open up and they imitate the same thing.
What do you mean?
He could go, I've got it, and then hold the microphone out, and their mouth holes would go, confession, and millions of mouths all do that as well.
Right.
Their mouth flap vibration imitates his mouth flap vibration.
But his mouth flap vibration flaps their little flaps inside these holes, goes into this thing, which is sustained by the oxygen that's being breathed in with the thing, to then honk back at him.
Yes. But my whole point is,
honking, isn't it?
By him eating and honking out a vibration, other people's wet mouth meats open up and honk back the same vibration.
Honk.
I've got another honk to make.
Imagine if music was actually just honking. Like, I mean, arguably some of it is. But imagine if all of it was. But we were all like, whoa, yeah. But actually, like, you come down from another alien race and all the humans are like, at a Taylor Swift or a Dave Grohl concert, it's just, ha, 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 ha. And we're like, I think it's the best thing ever. And the aliens
Everyone's
go,
just
what is this?
Honking it off to Dave Grohl.
One more.
No, two more then.
Okay, go.
No, because...
Can I do my story?
Have you got a story?
Same story. Well, similar story.
Aren't we doing Is That Even Legal?
Yeah, but I want to do oh, you haven't finished that yet, have you?
No, I haven't got to that yet. About when I was at uni.
Sorry, Tom.
I asked one of the lecturers, I was like, what is music? Because, I'm at uni for 4 years full time, and I was maybe 3 years in, and I was like, what is music? And she sat for a good 30 seconds, and then she said, organised sound. But I now dispute that.
Okay.
And I dispute that because with AI-generated music and stuff like that, it can also be disorganised. And I mean, you could just get a drone. That there's not much organisation around that other than maybe its length or its volume or its pitch.
So anyway, can you pretend you're me for a second?
Oh, please don't.
No, just for a second.
Oh, okay. The air conditioning's not on 22.3 right now. Where's my Tesla? I mean my Land Rover. Let's buy a Civic right now. Let's K-swap it. There's too much sauce in my food. I don't like that. I woke up weirdly last night. Hey, I'm going to send Blair a photo of the selfie this morning at Service New South Wales that the guy wanted to take with me, but I'm actually just zooming in on the background. Look at the queue outside into the donut shop. Oh, did you want to get a donut? No, but there was a guy at the back of that line who jumped in the front, but then as he was waiting, this is a true story, he was about to buy his donut, then said to someone in the queue, can you hold my line in the queue because I need to go to the toilet? Anyway, I was still waiting at Service New South Wales for 40 minutes. Then the guy came back from the bathroom and tried to get in the line, and they said, no, you have to go to the back. Do I have to be Martin? I don't want to be Martin.
Just for a second. So you're me. And you're at the
I
urinal.
don't want to be. Can I be someone else?
You're
I'm
me.
you at the urinal.
You're me at the urinal.
Oh, come on, man. Just how do you stop it from hitting the stuff?
No, you're at the urinal, and then someone comes
Hold
up.
on, who am I again?
You're me.
Okay.
And then I'm a random.
Hey, Martin.
No, wait. Just pretend you do it.
Martin, here's
wait,
a better
wait.
instruction
Just
for me.
wait.
A better instruction for me is, because I'm good with just a direct instruction, don't talk for 42 seconds. I can do that. But don't
can't.
just go,
You actually
no, but if you
can't.
go, don't wait, I'll go, I've waited now.
Okay, pretend you're me for 10, 11 seconds, and just look that way, and pretend you're doing a wee. Just do it.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Don't actually
But
wee
you
yourself.
always take longer than that.
Okay, whatever. Just keep.
Okay.
Just ready?
Yeah.
Are you Marty?
No.
Can we get a selfie? Yeah. and my response was like, right now? He's like, no, like after. Walk
okay.
out of the public toilet. Click. Hey man, that's a memorable one.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
And did he spread it?
He washed his hands, so it was all good.
He washed his, and there was. All right, Martin.
What was the legal?
I don't know.
This is succinctly deteriorated.
No. Did you say? Oh, do you like selfies?
Yes.
We just told a whole lot of stories about
No,
how you don't like
I
selfies
don't like
when
them.
eating, flapping the mouth
I don't
meat,
like
unless
selfies.
you've got another honk to make and you'll be imitated mouth meat by everyone in the
No, I
audience.
don't like selfies.
When you played in a band, did anyone ever sing back at you?
Yeah.
You'd go, oh, and then their mouth flap would go, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, honk. Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
And then did their mouths ever...
Don't keep going. Give us the thing.
But did the mouth meat? Okay. So, do you like selfies or not?
No.
No. Wait,
Yes, I do.
Yes. And would you
Not
like...
on the toilet.
Pardon? Not
Not
at the toilet. Okay, Martin. Would you like to get a selfie in Sri Lanka?
Sure.
Okay, good. Would you like to get a selfie in Sri Lanka with a photo of Buddha somewhere in the background?
Yeah,
of the
that'd be
image?
sick.
That is illegal, and the crime
No Buddha.
is punished with imprisonment.
Oh wow.
We got there in the end, Martin.
Next up is mycrapcar.
My Crap Car is the delightful segment where we check out a crap car from one of our viewers. We would love to see your crappy cars.
Absolutely
Don't
love it.
send in the good ones. We just want the crappy ones. You can send them to mycrapcar@theunicorncircuit.com. Is that the correct
Yes,
thing?
they can be good
It's
and crap
right
at the same time.
Yeah, which is pretty much
But if
everything
they're just
in our
good,
garage.
then that's kind of defeats the purpose because it's just good.
We're trying to celebrate the crap cars. We're saying g'day to Adam. He's coming at us all the way from Detroit in the USA, which I have no idea what state of the country is in right
Michigan.
now because there's an election going on there today. I hope everyone's safe and good. Everyone be cool. Anyway, let's have a look at his Ford Focus.
Say hi to the Unicorn Circuit Conspiracy Hat Cat. Here you go. What up, Unicorn Circuit? This is another episode of My Crap Car. I'm sorry, I took your line. But here is my one and only shit box. It's a Ford Focus ST. Has a turbo. It goes psh. It's got a gray hood. I just painted it and fixed all the rust rock chips. I got a piece down here that's nice and not there. Got a chopped toe strap. Got some new headlights. It's got rust. It's got 190,000 miles on it. There's a little bit of rust. The back bumper is also a bit on the injured side. I didn't get to finish that. It's also held on down there. The inside is a mess because I go to work 5 days a week. There's no back seat because I like to hear the noise of my exhaust. Other than that, it has some issues, but it has a happy stick and there's no check engine lights. So that makes me a happy camper. This is like the 6 or 7 set of wheels I've got on there, and this was there when I got it, so this does have a little bit of body damage. I do have a door in the basement, but yeah, thanks for checking out my shit box, and viewer number 28 signing out.
Thank you very much, Adam. Amazing. Thank you for taking the time to do it. We love seeing cars. We also love seeing them in the places where you guys are because this is a worldwide show. That 38 if you watch for reasons sometimes I can't understand, sometimes I think is very hilarious. I was watching back another unicorn circuit earlier today and I was laughing heartily at him because he was just being very, very funny. We now have a very, very important public service tinfoil hat cat, especially if you like fish.
Meow.
This week on Tinfoil Hat Cat, we have one of the biggest blowing the fish hole off the octopus's O-ringed jetbox jellyfish.
What?
Okay, here we go.
What's it actually
I have to
about,
make sure I
mate?
get this right. GPS smartwatches. They're everywhere. You may notice.
This is the thing when you
may
walk
have
near the
noticed-
election booth and it checks your temperature and checks your blood and then goes, you're probably going to vote for this person. Is it
When
that
you
one?
buy a GPS smartwatch, you get a big terms and conditions that's probably that long. You might have read bits of it, you might have read none of it. But what's in there, and you'll notice that ones that are meant for people who are seamen, captains, fishermen, boating enthusiasts, anyone who likes to go out on the open water would consider a GPS smartwatch because you can get your location at any point. You can, from your watch, go where the friggin' hell am I and go click and it will give you GPS coordinates. You can radio that and go rescue me. There's also ones that talk to satellites and do all sorts
Is
of
that why
clever
you
stuff
have
like
it
that.
when you're fishing?
I have used my watch for boating activities, yes.
Yeah. Fishing though?
Not for fishing, but let's talk
fishing.
about that. Let's talk about why.
Oh, let's.
This GPS smartwatches, if they are made for those kind of people, have been less expensive. So there may be two watches that are basically exactly the same, do all the same features, but the one that's made for like the marine version or whatever is cheaper. And people go, great, well I'll get that watch because it does everything the other one does. It's waterproof, I can use it on my boat, that's great. That's because the industry is subsidising those watches and collecting the GPS data. Now,
What
on
industry?
earth- the fishing industry. Big fishing.
Big fisher.
Big fishing is subsidising those watches and then collecting the data. It's in the terms and conditions and says we will use your data and your location and this sort of that, and you agree to location
Allegedly.
services so you can do all that sort of stuff. And then basically,
Why do they want it?
also wait.
I can't.
You need to just wait so I can explain it. The more you interrupt, the less it makes sense.
Okay.
Try really hard for 45 seconds directly, okay? 45 seconds, here we go. When you sign up your smartwatch profile, you'll also notice you can connect it to social media, which a lot of people do because they go, oh, I went for a run, I went boating, check out my boating photos with this, that. And so they will connect it to social media. Those big fishing companies have also access to that and they are scraping that data. When you go and catch a big giant bluefin tuna, click. Good. What's in that photo? EXIF data, GPS location, almost always. A lot of the time that is uploaded to social medias. That is cross-referenced with the data from your smartwatch that Big Fish is tracking because they gave you a discount, you agreed to sign the things. It knows
Okay,
where you
45
caught
seconds is up though,
that
Martin.
big tuna. And guess what?
Why?
The next time you go out there, mate, when you found that mad fishing spot and caught a tuna, there's a fishing trawler. Because Big Fish has used your location data and used your EXIF data from your photos, cross-referenced it with your smartwatch for full accuracy, so they can go and deplete the fishing reserves that you have spent all the work trying to find. And good luck getting your second big blue fin tuna ever again.
Martin, wouldn't fishing trawlers be bound by some kind of international code or at least, you know, a kind of a national code on when and where they can fish and how much fishing they do?
Correct,
Like,
but they can't know where all the fish are. But you as an able seaman might be able to find a cache of fish in a place that they haven't thought of, they don't know about, but they have access to it. It's just sitting there in front of them on a big feed,
Martin,
and it's just like a hotspot on a heat map.
Can I summarise just for a second?
If you want, yeah.
Big fishing industry is using humans like a hive mentality to go out and hunt the fish so that they don't need to invest the money to do so, and then using the data from the watch, they
And
will go and
social
take
media.
all the fish.
And photos and social media.
Is that right?
Well, the AI can analyse the photo when you're holding your big bluefin tuna up on a big scale. It knows how much it weighs, it knows what the fish looks like, and it can cross-reference that with your data to know exactly where you got it from so they can come and fish it and make more money. Follow the money, people. Always follow the money. For fishing and elections.
Fish of the week.
Fanking is the delightful art of recontextualising a product's name by holding it down near your crotch. It brings a whole new dimension of fun to shopping trips, to holidays, to different countries. You can go and fank in other countries. You can fank in your hometown. You can even fank at home. You can fank with other people. Use the thumbing technique if you need to for extra fankability. What have we got?
This week we've got a fanking technique that I've never seen before,
Oh.
and so I just want to give a quick shout out in advance for that. it blurs the line, I think, a little bit in that the way that they've fanked the letters is potentially contentious.
Let's just get into it.
But I'm pretty stoked with it,
supposed
so
to be the
hang out
quickest
there
episode
for
ever.
it. All right, here we go. Number one, the cock boomstick. Did you ever play that computer game that the guy has the boomstick? Okay. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? It was like early days, and Stabbing Westward, that was a band, did the theme song for it. I'll remember it later, or I probably won't.
Mega Man?
All right.
That had cool music. Mega Man had cool music.
Fifth leg.
Yep, seen that before. Good
There it is. Good job. Well done.
Someone's bought some wine.
One squirt's enough. What's going on? Oh, he's wrapped a tea towel around it.
Yeah.
That's the sheath.
Yes.
There.
Yep.
Okay, well done, mate.
Nice.
Crank Me.
Excellent.
And he's wearing the yellow Mighty Cummins t-shirt.
And he's looking at a tractor.
Which
or
is
a Model
excellent.
A Ford or something old.
Which is pretty exciting. Next up, Martin, we have the perfect creamy.
That's a triple.
That's a double.
Triple
Two
hand.
products, 3 hands.
Very good. Well done.
Well done.
I like that it brought you guys together.
That's very, very cute. Next up, Martin, Dip and Munch with Jumbo Tube.
Oh, that looks not appetizing at all.
I'm not into.
I don't want to eat it.
Yeah, into that kind of
I
stuff.
don't want to eat it.
High in calcium. Look at the Dip and Munch little logo. See the I and the U there?
Did you dip the I into the U?
Yeah. All right. The Chubby. That's a blue ball blast.
That looks like it would stain your insides for a long time. You know what I mean?
What a gross thought. Yeah, but you're right. Next up, Martin. High in P.
I like that.
That's very good.
That's a good fank.
I'm just going to give you a notable fank of the week.
Notable fank.
Not the fank of the week, but a notable mention, because that's excellent. You could have won, and maybe
True.
you should have. You can argue about that in the comments. Next up, we've got rooting for you.
Excellent.
And I think the joke there, Martin, is some of those are...
root vegetables.
Well,
Except they're not.
a lemon's not a root vegetable, is it? But that's fantastic. Next up, look and admire, but please don't touch.
I know where that's from.
That's from a car.
That's from Shannon's, man. That's a Shannon's card you can put on your car when you go to car shows.
And they've taken it off.
Well, yeah, but
Well, they've taken it off the
but
car.
they're thanked from their Shannon's show, which is kind of cool.
That is kind of
I
cool.
like that.
Next up, Martin, we've got 2 fank of the weeks. The first one, a fanking technique that I don't think we've seen before. Remind me if I'm wrong. Drum roll, please. Now, this person's used a texter to write Vita Wet, Pump Seed and Grin.
For digestive well-being, 5-star. It's very creative.
It's very creative.
Yeah, good. I like it. No, it's good. It's
so-
'cause this is like language. It evolves, doesn't it?
Yes.
Like, you know, there's also like we know that's like, you know, that's kind of like that's, you know,
Yes.
we're talking rubbish.
There it is. So, and then the second fank of the week, just for a bit of fun.
Go.
Your drum roll's got so bad.
It's fine. The drum roll's fine. Just show the thanks. People are
you're
wasting
getting
the
older.
internet and the hard drive.
People want to be wasted.
No,
dude.
because it would be more
Comments.
What?
The word of the week this week, wasted.
Wasted.
Get it in there if you made it this
Go.
far. Martin, a hand-pulled noodle. Well done. Good job. If you do want to send us your fanking images, please put them up on the fanking group. There's a link down below.
I love that it's hand pulled. Like, let's pull the anyway.
Yeah, it's not machine pulled. Next up, Martin, we've got...
Eat bag.
Eat
Eat bag. Eat bag, because
yes.
you really need to eat.
Eat bag.
It's getting bad.
We're going to combine 2 of your favourite segments, which is mailbag and eat bag. I just want to open this one up here because I got a message about this. This is from Frameskin. And this here, I believe, Martin, are things for
Mountain bikes.
mountain bikes. I think they
cool.
like stop like dirt spurting up and stuff like that,
They go,
which is pretty cool.
They're like what's these? What do you call them? Fender things. And you use cable ties so that you don't get mud all over your butt.
And then there's also
Looks cool.
something here, which is this one that's called Dirt Surfer, and that is made for bikes as well. Protects
That's
your face,
mad.
fork seals,
It goes
and
there.
stanchions. Is that
Yeah,
the word?
stanchions. Yeah, that's a bicycle.
Which is pretty cool.
These are
100% Australian,
Recycled.
recyclable, and kick-ass. So
awesome.
thank you very much for sending those over to us. And that is dirtsurfer.bike. So thank you very much for sending
it.
them.
Some
That's
innovative
actually really cool.
recycled
I like
stuff.
that. That's great. Meanwhile, Martin, let's just kick straight into... What have you got there, mate?
I don't know. I think these were sent to us. These have been here for a bit. And I think... Oh, no, these are from Rob. Issei. That's like where he's from in Mi Prefecture or whatever.
Okay.
And it's traditional in Japan as well. If you like travel and you go somewhere, like say you're from
To give a gift.
Osaka and you go to Tokyo, and you go to Tokyo, you grab a gift that's from the area you went to and you give it to people, and there's like a thing. It's
So what have we got here, Martin? Something fishy, is
gonna be
it?
something fishy and prawny by the looks of it.
No, it doesn't smell fishy at all. So I would love to tell you what it is, except I have no idea. But it appears to be a crunchy cracker. It doesn't smell fishy at all.
Doesn't smell fishy.
I reckon maybe that's the logo and not the contents. That could be the best chip I've ever eaten in
That
my
is
life.
so good.
Why does it taste so good?
I reckon it's like 85% MSG. That is delicious.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what it says. I can't read the ingredients.
If that was you, Rob,
That-
wow.
It's absolutely delicious. Thank you for sending them.
So much flavour.
That is another unicorn circuit.
Thanks for watching.
I know a huge proportion of our audience is in America. Stay safe over the coming days. Just be calm and be cool. We're all humans trying to do the best we can. So just be calm and be cool. Yeah, we're thinking of you guys there and hoping everything is good. 240Z posters are available right now. We're going to link them on a little thing. And Mighty Carmods Drift Night is out next Wednesday night.
week.
Come along and hang out with us.
On it.
See you next
there.
time.
Bye-bye.
Drop munch it. Bye.